Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Ravori Sports podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. It's Wednesday, so it's time for the Ravori Sports podcast for fans like me. Thank all of you that have joined us here. We appreciate everybody out there that has joined us in our efforts. We appreciate more of you been watching as well. I keep saying that because it keeps being true. Facebook numbers going up slowly but surely. YouTube almost over 150 now, close to about 150 now, over 300 on Facebook as well. Instagram, got some news from Instagram as well the other day. Got a good booking from Instagram, so we're definitely going to have that interview coming up shortly. So also too, definitely more traffic on the website, jerseys, hats. Went with the camo tonight as well, so you can see the camo hat. Anything you don't see on the RavoriSports.company.site, we can order it. Also, too, we got Fanatics links. We had one right before the game today, so definitely too. If you're on the Ravori Sports Twitter page, or Facebook page, Instagram, and you see it, you can order it right there. We got the Adley jersey, a lot of good merchandise, Orioles and Ravens stuff on there as well. Now, joke of the day.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. First, I need to say subscribe. What do you call a sad basketball player? A baller.
And that is the 10-year-old humor portion of the Ravori Sports podcast. So I want to thank everybody out there for that. Definitely check us out. Harris Legal Shield, we're going to have a live stream on Friday afternoon. So definitely check that out. For those of you, please, Legal Shield is a great thing so that you can get great information there. We're going to be giving out some information on there, how you can find us as well. We're going to go ahead and chop it up for a few minutes with that. Also, too, Genesis Notary Services, if you know, you know, very busy these days with the notary business. So we appreciate all of you going ahead and participating in that. Oh, one last thing here as well. July 11th, instant reaction. That's going to be next weekend. So the Orioles and the Royals and the Baltimore Orioles, two of the best shortstops. Still, if you want to call Gunnar Henderson one of the best shortstops, I am. In the American League. We're going to instant reaction. We're going to talk about the game there as well. Also, too, we're going to talk about the MLB Draft that's going on that night. You know, if it wasn't for YouTube's policies here, I would definitely cue up Mariah Carey, because tonight we're going to be talking about fantasy football. All right, so we talked a lot about the Ravens as well. And I know now that we're in the season part of the off season where the draft is over, season's been over for a while, player acquisition is over for a while. I know some of you are looking at some of those fantasy football. I know some of you are looking at that fantasy football stuff. So I fired up a fantasy football league here as well. A lot of you are liking that stuff. So what we're going to talk about tonight is we are going to talk about what the Ravens are going to do in fantasy football. Okay, so I know there's other teams, but definitely we're going to talk about what the Ravens in particular are going to do in fantasy. Who do you want? Who don't you want in fantasy? What might happen, etc., and get an idea of where guys are in production on the field as well, especially for your teams. You're going to win. I am rebounding in fantasy this year. I'm going to win something this year. I'm going to rebound. I used to win all the time. I didn't win as much in recent years as well. So fantasy football is talking to me about it. So what are the Ravens going to look like? Who gets taken first in a fantasy draft? Let's start with the quarterback, Lamar Jackson. He is, and depending on what league you're in, he's about your second or third best quarterback in the draft. Either him or Josh Allen. You see him in a lot of leagues as well. So he's going to be your second or third quarterback take. So that makes about second, third round. If you want Lamar in a 10-team league, 12-team league, maybe a little higher than that, first, second round. If you're going ahead and you're going to draft Lamar, about between 20 and 40 as well. Lamar does have good market value. So what does that mean? Sometimes there will be drafts and leagues and things that you're in. We're going to see Lamar a little bit higher than the ranking. That's a guy like Lamar that you're going to get. Sometimes you see it often in a fantasy draft. They'll see Lamar Jackson and they'll take him. Or they'll see Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen and they take him. Or it'll be a really good wide receiver like a really good tight end or something like that, like Kittle, who may not be as high or something like that, would take him. We're going to talk about tight ends tonight. But stuff like that. So Lamar's definitely in that category. First to fourth, I would say QB off the board with that. Derrick Henry, third to fourth round. I think Derrick's got a little bit of slippage as far as fantasy as well. The year before, he came off I think a 2,000-yard season, almost about 2,000 yards. Not quite. I mean, not 1,600 yards. It's not shabby. I don't see any slowing down from Derrick. I think you could just go crazy with him in fantasy. I don't see anything. I think there's no real guy here to take his spot, take real carries from him. I don't think at least right away. And Randall will look at that at some point, Mike. But I definitely think you're pretty comfortable taking Derrick Henry in the third, fourth round, higher than that. Again, kind of like Lamar, he has a bit of that name value. Maybe he's a little bit higher. It wouldn't shock me if somebody took Derrick Henry 5 or 6 or something like that. They're really that wouldn't shock me with that. In fantasy, he could be first one off the board after a really good week or something like that if you're playing daily fantasy as well. But these are the two guys that for sure that everybody's going to like for the Ravens here as well. Justice Hill, undrafted, a little less than the year before, in my opinion, as well. I don't know with the running back competition. I think Randall is going to maybe take some carries from him. Randall's not here. He's a rookie. I didn't the really good rookies here as well. 200 plus undrafted. If you're familiar with him, I think depends on that. You could kind of read the hot hand with him, or if there's a Derrick Henry injury. But he's undrafted. I think 200 plus, late, maybe a 17th, maybe a late round at the end of your draft. Go ahead and add Justice Hill there as well. Zay Flowers. I think it's a little low. I think it's good value with Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers, I think it's a top 10 receiver in the league. I think he's easily going to get 1,400 yards. So I definitely think it's good value. I've seen him 35, 45, 50. He's got Nakua ahead of him, Chase ahead of him. Justin Jefferson ahead of him. I've seen him as low as 10. I think like this. I think you could get good value. Third or fourth round is what I would do with him. No later than that, 45, third, fourth round. That's a good place for Zay Flowers after you've had about 40 players off the board. I definitely think this is a good pickup to go ahead and get Zay Flowers. Rashard Bateman, totally off the board this year. I think it's fine to take him because he's still going to be a star 13th, 15th round, but 200 plus, I think in a lot of drafts. I think he's a perfect guy to take at the end of the draft, somewhat like Justice Hill, but I think he's a better version of that. I think a lot of draft you're going to ignore. You're not going to have a lot of clamoring for Bateman. I see him lower than that, but I think he's still a good receiver. I think you can get some value, and he should start. So I think that's good as well. So we'll see there as well. DeAndre obviously not on the team anymore. Des Walker. Let's talk about the other two. Des Walker undrafted. I think it's a good pick to get Des late. I think you got to play it by ear. I don't know if you're drafting before the season, how much value he has. I don't know. I don't know how much you would do. I don't know how much you would do with him before the season as far as the draft. I think he's if your draft also too is right before camp and you see he's doing well in camp, you might want to jump on him. Might be good value. Third receivers are kind of tricky. they kind of get lost some weeks as far as real value, unless you're on like a Kansas City or something where they air it out all the time. I probably undrafted, but definitely worth keeping an eye on. Mark Andrews, I think he's a little bit dropped in value as well. I think he's gonna this is probably the overdraft in my opinion. I think I've kind of seen him higher than I think he is, like 4th, 5th round, 23rd, 5 to 10 as far as tight ends. I got Mark as like a top 15 tight end at this point, but I think he's probably gonna get overdrafted as well. So I don't know if I love Andrews in as far as that goes. He might surprise us though. I think there is a thought that he's going to get more catches, that he's going to have the ball to himself with Isaiah likely gone. So that'll be interesting to see if you can go ahead and get more value out of him. Durham Smythe, I think is totally undrafted. I don't think he's going to be catching a lot of footballs as well. We'll see about the rookies. I think there's also 200-plus players. I don't think you draft them very high as well. And again, those are guys you monitor camp and see how well they do, see if somebody breaks out or something like that. You never know until camp starts. That's why I like drafts later in camp. I don't like drafts like in July. I want to see him break camp. I want to see if there's any. I want to see if those things. So we will see there as well. Tyler Loop, undrafted. I think he definitely will be the starter as well. When we had Justin Tucker, you had a special case. If you want to take a kicker high, go ahead and take a kicker high. Go ahead and do it. That's fine. Not anymore in this situation. Tyler Loop, you want to take him a little bit later. Kickers definitely in the last round as well. I don't think you should be doing any higher in that last round. Maybe like next to last round or something like that. Tyler Loop, let's see how he does. Loop was good last year for the most part. I really didn't have a problem with the way Loop did, obviously, except for the last game of the season that we're going to like to talk about here going against Pittsburgh. But no real big beef with Luke and his performance last year. I think Luke did okay otherwise. And the defense, don't sleep on the Ravens defense in the draft. I think it's top 10 in the NFL in fantasy and on the field. I think definitely to 120 to 140. Top 10 defenses as well. I think, though, I've seen them like 200 level overall in a lot of places. I think it's higher than that. I think the defense definitely could be higher than that. I think like you're going to see a lot of the Texans, obviously, like number one best defense in the league. You're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see like 2 or 3 more, like Broncos, etc. Once you get those, Ravens defense is absolutely great to take, in my opinion. I think with the addition of Trey Henderson, you're definitely going to get more sacks. Definitely with Mike Green there and his development, we will see about that. Malachi Starks, Kyle Hamilton. The turnovers, I think, are something that you want on defense. I think with this group, I think you're going to get more turnovers. I think it's going to go back to a top 10 defense if you can keep Matabuke, Hamilton, and all that healthy, barring a lot of injuries as well. So I definitely think it is worth taking in the top 10. There you go. Fantasy drafts. So that's what it looks like as far as the fantasy, as far as the Ravens go, how they look as far as fantasy football coming up this season. Definitely too. Derrick Henry, I wouldn't sleep on it. I definitely would do it earlier rather than later. Lamar, I got no problem taking him early. There's some bloom off the rose as far as Lamar and the stats because there is a thought with some, I'm not one of them, that he is going to be running more or running less rather and throwing more. I don't think that's going to necessarily be true, where he's going to go ahead and be running a whole lot less. I definitely think Lamar is going to go ahead and be running a whole lot. All right, so there we go. Ravens in fantasy football, definitely check that out. I'm gonna be playing fantasy. I'm gonna get back this year and start winning some fantasy drafts. What is some fantasy leagues? For years I was cleaning up, but this last year it was struggle bus. But now we're gonna get back. We're gonna go back to basics and start winning. Good luck in your fantasy football. That was for entertainment purposes only. Do not go out and spend all your money because of the stuff we just talked about. All right. Top 10. That's not it. There you go. Top 10 tight ends in the NFL in 2026. So definitely two. We looked last week. We've been doing this. We're going to do this all the way up until the opening Sunday. We'll go over all the top 10 players at each position in the NFL. So we've done quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and this week, the tight ends as well. Spoiler alert, no Mark Andrews. He didn't make it. I had him about 12. I dropped him a little bit. And I don't think it's disrespect to Andrews as much as I see it as there's a good young group here at tight ends. Number one might surprise some of you. So here we go. Top 10 tight ends in the NFL. Number 10, Tucker Kraft of the Packers. Kraft, I think, is a bit of projection. I think we were ready to have this guy maybe as a top 5 guy. Really couple along this year. Got an extension with the Packers last year. So Tucker Kraft really was a guy that was coming up and becoming one of the premier tight ends in the NFL. But had an injury late last year that kind of derailed him. So even though he had a good start, but Kraft, I think, is on its way. 489 yards last year, 6 TDs. That's about a half a season. So I definitely think he's definitely a target of Jordan Love. Young guy. I think he's definitely going to get better, 25 years old. Bit of a projection, but I like Tucker Kraft. Number 10 from the Packers. Number 9, TJ Hawkinson. Some people are dropping him a bit because he's been fighting a lot of injuries. So I think that's fair to say. Before 2023, he had about 960 yards as well. Kind of on his way up. Good start to his career with the Lions. Then he went to Minnesota, even more productive. Last 2 years, again, kind of battling injuries. I still like him. I still really like him. I think he's got great hands, great toughness. That's what I think when I think of him as well. Like, you're not going to just intimidate him off his spot. He's going to knock you over. He's going to hurt you. So that's the thing I do like about Tucker Kraft. Like about TJ Hawkinson. Definitely some toughness, and kind of like Justin Jefferson. The quarterbacking was so bad like last year. It's kind of hard to be productive when you have a guy like JJ McCarthy throwing you the football. I mean, it's just not, you're just not going to be uber productive with that. So Hawkinson, I still like him. I still have him in the top 10. Number 9, rather, TJ Hawkinson. Yes, Mr. Taylor Swift. I don't know if this is real or not. Somebody watching this will know. I think apparently he's getting married at Madison Square Garden. I have no idea. So apparently he's marrying Taylor. Good for him, Travis. That's a bit much for me. That's not what I talk about. But I can talk about what I'm going to talk about on the field. Kelsey is not the same player he was a few years ago. So Kelsey was at the top of the list for a long time, from about a period of like 2016 to like 2023. Kelsey would have been at the top of this list. Kind of fallen off a bit the last couple years. However, the numbers are still fairly productive. I think too much dirt you can't put on him. I think he's still in the top 10. I think it's about 800 yards, 700 carries. Still got some durability as well. He does look a little older. Moves a little slower, like off the field, but he's a good vet. He did decide to come back. Some people would thought he was going to retire if this is his last season. I think this guy's good for about what he did last year. 800 yards, 857. I think that's about top 10 tight end. So not what he was, where he was just a complete, just like uncoverable guy. But I think he still has a lot of value, has some value. I have him in the top 10 still. Number 8, Travis Kelce. Number 7, Colston Loveland. Boy, lists like this, I see him all over the place. It really depends on what you think of the Bears offense. If you are a believer in Caleb Williams and their offense and Ben Johnson and all that as well. Loveland, I think, is the goods. I think their offense is definitely going to be a lot of tight end centric. They did go ahead and get rid of DJ Moore in the offseason as well. So they're going to use Roma DJ and they're going to use Colston Loveland. And he had a decent year last year as a rookie, 713 yards. 58 catches, 6 TDs. They're going to use him in the red zone for sure as well. And he's like the tight end that you can use in different spots. The big wide receiver-ish guy. This is the first really on the list where, not that you can't with Kelce or something, but like you can go ahead and just, put him at the X, put him at the Y, like if you need to. You can put him somewhere on the field. So I think Colston Loveland is going to be more of a focus for them, and his production is going to go up from that 700 yards. I think he can get 800 plus yards, almost at the 1,000 yards. It wouldn't surprise me. Almost as good as Tyler Warren from the Colts. Again, the thing I don't like about Warren is the fact that, Daniel Jones is there. So I think that could hurt him. I love what I saw from Tyler Warren. Everything they said he was in the draft. Very impressive. Definitely the guy, catch the ball over the middle of the field. This is more of the complete tight end as well. Much better blocker. I don't know, much better. But a better blocker, I think, than Loveland is as well. That matters when you're evaluating these guys. Obviously, he can catch the football, and he's going to catch it in volume. And another team definitely going to throw to the tight ends a lot. Daniel Jones throws a lot of short passes, so he's going to look for Tyler Warren. He's going to get a guy like this. So I think his production is going to be higher than Loveland's as well. Tyler Warren, I think, number 6. Number 5, Sam Laporta for the Lions. Again, only thing keeping him off the field, I think, is just availability as well. I think when he plays, I think he's terrific. I think definitely too, he's one of the better tight ends in the NFL. I think just keeping him on the field, 40 catches last year, 489 yards, didn't miss some games. So I did think that was a thing. But the 2 years before, 889, 2023, 726, I think that's more what you're going to see if you can keep him on the field. And again, I think like it's a team that is going to have some emphasis on throwing the ball to the tight end, throwing the ball inside. Goff is going to use him a lot. So the production did dip a little bit. I'm not too much lower on Laporta. I think Laporta really can stretch the field as much as any of these other tight ends on the list. Kind of like Loveland in that sense. In that sense, he's like a big wide receiver. So definitely he's a guy that can really stretch the field as well and do the tight end stuff and block as well. So I think he's complete all around. Number 5, Sam Laporta. Number 4, Kyle Pitts. We almost gave up on him. Kyle Pitts is probably what we thought in the draft. So going into the draft, everybody thought Kyle Pitts, this guy's going to be generational, blah, blah, blah. And, not so impressive. Last year, very impressive. 88 catches, 928 yards. If you want to say this guy is the best tight end in the NFL, I'm not arguing a whole lot. I have him because of his track record. Maybe the most athletic of the group in the NFL as far as tight ends. I mean, I definitely feel okay saying that this might be one of the better athletes at the tight end position when you talk about a Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a terrific athlete at the position. And definitely, too, he's going to get a lot of balls, a lot of emphasis on him as well. He about 88 catches, doubled his output. I think you just got to feed him a bit. I think that's kind of what happened with him the first couple of years. He kind of got lost, that could kind of happen with the tight end position, but I definitely like Kyle Pitts as well. I think Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts might be, again, outstanding athlete at his position. Maybe the best player on their offense, along with Bijan Robinson there as well. Number 3, Brock Bowers of the Raiders. Bowers, I think the numbers dipped a bit last year compared to his rookie year. Rookie year just totally blew it out the water with over almost 1,200 yards. Last year, underneath his 700. I think the quarterbacking was just not much worse last year for the Raiders as well. So I think that was an issue. Bowers, I think, is a Pro Bowler for sure. Again, he's another one. If you put him at 1, I don't have him at 1, but I think Bowers, if you put him there, I don't have a problem with it as well. I think he's more of a pure pass catcher. I think that's where he's best served as well. Not as much with the blocker to me as well. Decent enough block. I don't really see him like kill people like as far as that goes at tight end. But I think he's an excellent receiver. I think there's no question about it. He's going to do very well. I think this is going to be Mendoza's favorite target, definitely early and often. The production dipped a little bit, but I'm not too low on Bowers. I have him at 3 as well. Brock Bowers, number 3. Number 2, George Kittle of the Niners. Kittle, I think is fantastic. I think he's complete in every sense. I don't think there's anything he doesn't do well on the field. The only thing with him is he going to be healthy enough for the whole season? That's it. Any season where he's played 16 plus games and everything like that, he's been fantastic. About 628 yards last year, 7 touchdowns. Didn't miss a few games. I think that's the only concern. A bit of an injury history in 32, but this guy does kill people. In the blocker. He's an outstanding blocker. I mean, I think he's one of these rare guys who really is a great catcher, who really catches the football, obviously, and blocks big time. So definitely he's a guy that you really like catching the football. Definitely too, age factored in a little bit, which is why he's 2 instead of 1. But number 1, if you didn't know, now you know, Trey McBride of the Arizona Cardinals. Look, I don't know how many guys on these lists I'm going to have that are going to be Arizona Cardinals. But Trey McBride, whether nobody's noticing, is killing in the NFL right now. Over 1,200 yards last year, 1,100 the year before, 800, 11 touchdowns. Even with the quarterbacking issues with that, this guy is the complete package, and he's younger and able to stay healthy. Very similar, I think, to Kittle. I think he does everything well. He catches the ball. He's consistent. There's no packages you need. You don't need to take him out. You can put him in with with 3 wide receiver sets, fullback. You can put him anywhere on the field. Very versatile. This is why he's getting so many catches. The lack of quarterbacking bothers me a bit. Brissett, I don't know what's going to happen. If not Brissett, I think it's a bigger concern. But I got no problem with him and Brissett. I'm being number 1. This guy's going to get 1,000 yards for the next few years. I like him. Trey McBride, number 1. Tight end. There you go. So there you go. Trey McBride, number 1 tight end in the NFL. Next week, we're going to go to some of my favorites of the list. The big guys, the offensive linemen, offensive tackle, offensive guard, center. Tyler Linderbaum on the list for the Ravens as well. So definitely check that out as well. It'll be on our social media tomorrow. We go ahead and release this list on social media tomorrow. Also, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., Ravori Sports blog spot. Definitely check that out. We have that every morning at 6 a.m. Today's article I wrote it yesterday. The 13 best Ravens on the team. So who's the best Ravens? Who are the most impactful? Interesting to see that. So definitely check that out as well. every morning, 6 a.m. Usually there are links on the Ravori Sports page about 6 a.m. Well, not every 6 usually. Maybe it's a little bit later. But there's definitely two. You can go to our Facebook page. You can go to our Instagram. You can go to our Twitter, LinkedIn, even that sometimes. Well, you can go there, and we're going to go ahead and you can definitely check that out as well. Real quick. Quick ad. There you go. So the breaking news, and this is in tonight, the Celtics, my dad's favorite team, they even have the jerseys here, AI, on there. Jaylen Brown going to the Boston Celtics, going from the Boston Celtics, rather, to the Philadelphia 76ers. And they're going to get Paul George and 2 first and second round picks as well. So that looks like the blockbuster trade. There's a lot of stuff in the NBA right now. LeBron is for sure, as told my Lakers, he's not coming back. Personally, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Lakers fan, I think that's a safe face measure. I think they weren't going to bring him back. I mean, you're not going to give LeBron $50 million as well. That's a lot of money. So I do think that. I think it looks like he's going to wind up in Golden State as well. This trade here, though, real quick. I don't know what's going on with the Celtics and Jaylen Brown. I really don't. I don't know why they're trying to get rid of him. I think that's a huge mistake. This guy's a stud. I think Jaylen Brown is one of the better players in the entire NBA. I think he's a top 10 player in the league. And I heard his name in trade rumors with Giannis. It is interesting, though. You can butthurt a player when you put him in trade rumors. That's a thing. Like, you can't. That name gets out there and trade rumors, and then you don't get the trade done. It can really damage your relationship with a player. And that's true in any business. You know, once you talk about getting rid of somebody, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's not personal, blah, 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 and all that stuff. Which is true. But I think that could be very, very true when you have a guy like that. To me, that's the only reason to do this. Because George is a good player and all, but George has got to be 35 now. Yeah, Paul George is like 30, just turned 36. So I don't know. I don't get that one as well. Why they're doing this, but you're seeing this all around the league. Obviously, last week Giannis went ahead and moved to Miami, so that's a great move for them. Giannis, I don't love it as much. They're not as good of a team. Giannis isn't as good of a player as he once was. I used to have him as one of the top 5-6 players in the league. I don't have him there anymore. Let's see if I can get Giannis. There he is, Giannis in Miami there as well. So they traded franchise icon and Bobby Portis for Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jamie Vasquez, Copperas. I can't even pronounce his name. Yakalonis, I think that's right. 3 first-round picks, including a 13, a pick swap of the first round. They trade too many picks in the NBA, in my opinion. Some of these trades just go on forever because they in the league, they don't allow you to trade back-to-back years. So sometimes you trade 3 picks, you got to do it over 6 years. I hate that. But I don't know. I'm not as big on this as some, and I'm just, again, not sure what you're trying to accomplish. I think the Knicks kind of shook up everybody. So I think there's pressure to make a move. I think in some cases it's good for Miami. I could say this. It's good for Miami. It's better than what they had. I just don't know if this moves them to where they think they're going to go as well. All right. Let's get to the All right. So the month of June is over. Obviously, we're here on July 1st as well. We're all feeling a little dejected, right? I mean, because the Orioles really didn't play well in this last stretch here of the month. So encouraged for a little while and then kind of flip it out. So not good. Not fundamentally sound. I think that's the overarching theme for me. Defensively, they're just awful. I mean, that's kind. I mean, they are just. I can't ever remember seeing this. I heard Ness Aparicio say this on the show. Like, he can't remember a 30 years that a guy was that defense was this bad, and I can't either. I can't ever remember looking at an Orioles group and defensively and saying, "Man, you guys are really this bad," but they're this bad. That's the record. 39 and 48. I think that's right. 4 out of 10. Currently 4th in the AL East, just a nudge ahead of the Red Sox as well. So, what did the lineup look like for the batting order this month for the Orioles? Taylor Ward, most of the month he was batting first. The last couple games they moved him to second because he's been slumping a bit. So, and not doing the walks as much. So, he's been getting on base. I think Taylor Ward's still been kind of what he's been. Mostly solid, mostly getting on base. The last couple games, not so much. But I think you're getting at least something from Taylor Ward, at least offensively. He's giving you some solid hits, etc. Getting on base, at least walking. He works hard offensively. I can say that. Definitely, too. Defensively, slightly better, I thought, in June. Just the eyeball test. But still, he's just not good in the outfield. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these guys. Gunnar Henderson, streaky and at least hitting for power. Average needs to improve. Man, some of y'all have been killing Gunnar Henderson as well. Look, Gunnar's average is not what we thought it was going to be. We thought this guy was going to be a 300-plus hitter. It's just not. It just hasn't happened. He certainly looks like he's swinging for the fences all the time. He seems to have a problem, kind of like what we're seeing a little bit with Taylor Ward. If he's getting better average, then he doesn't drive the ball, right? And if he's swinging for the fences, then your averages drop. So it seems like he's picking swinging for the fences, and his average isn't as good as well. You can see, though, the frustration on his face as well. Still hitting for power. I think he's still got 16. I mean, I think people are going past. I don't go past that. That's 16. That's not. That's a top half of the. That's one of the top hitters, the home run hitters in the league, right there. So he's definitely a solid power hitter as well. Just got to get for average as well. Just got to find that blend of him being a good average hitter and hit for some power. He seems to not be good at both. It's kind of odd. Some guys I'm seeing this more and more with a lot of young hitters as well. Pete Alonso, I think he's fantastic. I think he's probably the one guy on the team that's deserving of an all-star bid. A little bit of a slow start. Guys hitting for home runs, getting average. This is exactly what we expected. I think he's the one of two that you're getting exactly what you expected as well. Adley Rutschman, I think, has been very solid this year for the most part. He has been battling injuries, and I think that's a constant thing with him. It's been funny that Basallo's actually caught more than him. That's something. So, he hits better when he's behind the plate. But he hasn't been behind the plate as much as well. So, I got no problem. Adley's been better than a lot of us expected. But I think, like the injuries, just always kind of like he's always kind of like nicked up. Sam Basallo, I think, has been fantastic. I don't know if he's the leader right now for AL Rookie of the Year. He's certainly, for me, in the dance. Definitely the way he's going. Love everything we're seeing from Samuel Basallo. I think he's probably, other than Alonso, you could argue he's the best player, honestly, other than Pete Alonso, as far as that goes. I mean, Basallo has been really good. Good behind the plate. Hits for power, definitely hitting for average, contributing all the time. Very lighthearted, good attitude. He looks relaxed too, unlike a lot of these guys as well. Colton Cowser saving his season by hitting more home runs. They move him back to center. I got no problem with Cowser in center. I think the obvious thing is he's not a jackrabbit out there. He's not a Cedric Mullins, but he's made some very good defensive play. I mean, he's actually looked decent enough in center, and he's hitting home runs. He's hitting for power. He's kind of saved himself, or he really was struggling for a while. Still some work to do as well. Lonnie Tavares kind of moved him to the bench. Now with Dylan Beavers is back, even though he played most of June as the starter. Wobbling a bit, but he's been strong. Again, kind of like him and Blaze Alexander, you're kind of getting more than what you thought. Maybe not as hard on him, but he kind of struggled a bit. Even his defense kind of struggled a bit. So I think that's kind of why they went ahead and moved forward once Cowser started hitting again, putting him back in center. This is going to be moving, I think, more back to a utility role with Beavers on the bench. But he's been decent. I mean, look, you could do worse having him on the roster. Kobe Mayo. You know, when I first wrote this, Mayo just had a home run, a couple of home runs. But look, he's on track for 20 home runs. I think third base is over. He hasn't played third base, I've noticed, in the last couple games. I don't think he's a third baseman, like in terms of every day. I mean, he just can't do it. Fundamental mistakes. I see errors. I see bad throws. I've seen every bad play over there from Kobe Mayo at third base. I don't think you can play him every day. Now, since the last game where he had those errors, we had several errors that he hasn't played anymore third. So they sat him. Then he hit DH. He hit first. I don't know what you – I don't think you can do anything else with Kobe Mayo as far as that goes. Average is 188. And, again, he's one of these guys, he's always swinging for the fences. So, like, he's just I can almost live with that if the defense was halfway decent, believe it or not. If he's hitting 212, I'll live with a Rob Deere, but he's not even like defense. That's just not going to work. So I don't know what happens with Mayo. It'll be interesting as well. Jackson Holliday is kind of in the same category. Looking at Jackson Holliday's career average, with all the talk about Jackson Holliday, as good as he's been, and I think I'm not giving up on Jackson Holliday. He's only 22 years old. He's only going to be 23 in December. He's hitting 196 right now. He's got his career average overall for his entire career. It is, what is he? He was 242. Yeah, he's a two. What's his batting at? Career batting at? Yeah, he's got 200. I'm sorry, he's got 242, 242 strikeouts. Jackson Holliday is. There's questions about whether this guy is going to be what we thought he was. Still a little early. The concern was he was clearly outplayed by Jeremiah Jackson and Blaze Alexander. That's why they were playing more. They're never going to say that out loud, but that's why he wasn't playing. They had to get JJ off the roster, which was totally ridiculous, in my opinion. But that's why. So you got Blaze Alexander. He currently got outplayed. He's going to get a chance to play more, maybe getting him in the groove as well. Some of it also could be he didn't play well. So that's say about the batting order. Rotation, I think it kind of is what it is in a couple guys. Bradish, 5-8, 3.77 ERA. This is kind of always my complaint with Bradish. Couple good starts, and then he just looks lousy one start. I used to call him good Bradish, bad Bradish. like 2023. That's kind of what I've seen. He has excellent starts. He looks like an ace a couple of times, and then not so good. That's kind of the thing with Bradish. Baz kind of the same. Last start, really good. Seven plus innings. Tough luck. Okay, like Braz, think is good. The stuff is there. I don't know if he's consistent enough. That's my concern with those two as well. Brandon Young has clearly been your best this season. It's not close. So don't tell me that Kyle Bradish and Shane Baz have been better than Brandon Young. No way. Brandon Young, I think, has been the stopper, the closest thing you've had. He's kept you in every game. I think he's been very consistent. The record shows it. His ERA shows it. I think definitely, too, he's been your best for sure. Rogers lately has been turning it around. Awful for a while. His last start was terrific as well. Doesn't have an out pitch. I think his control is coming back. I think he's got the best control of all these guys. The best control. I trust him, like, throwing the ball over the plate at least more than anybody here, except for maybe Brandon Young. Brandon Young has been good. I think that's a good bet. But Trevor Rogers is at least throwing the ball over the plate. But he's another one. Some days he just doesn't have it. I mean, when he's bad, he's worse than Bradish. Like, he's either great. He's either great or not great. You put him in both buckets. Trey Gibson was just sent down, even though he just did most of the starts. Look, I like Trey Gibson. I don't think he's a major league starter. I just don't. I think he is a bullpen guy, possibly. I think a Tyler Wells type career from the right-hand side, I think is possible. Halsey was back, gave up home runs in his first 2 games back as well. Jury's still out. I think, like, they did still use him in the 9th the last time they had a close game, so I think they still view him as a closer. I think Rico Garcia slipping a bit. ERA is up. I think he's been great. I think they just overused him. They got to get him some help. Keegan Aiken was the guy, just went on the IL. Good. He doesn't look right. Grant Wiltham has been pretty good. It seems like he's better in high leverage situations than the one they use him in. Kind of like what they use with Cano. It doesn't seem like they have a lot of confidence in him, but he's good when they actually do use him in a situation that's meaningful. It's almost as if he's bored or something like that. Kittredge is better. Kind of same. Kind of like, you know, when I've seen him in like games where they're way behind, then he's awful. Then, like, in a close situation, I think he's been better. Interesting as well. Yadier Cano's been fantastic this year. This is more like what they were hoping for as well. So Cano, even to last year, sent down. I think they didn't have confidence in him. They surely do now. I think you could argue he should be the guy in the 9th inning because he's been really good all year long. Tyler Wells and Suarez, they're war horses. Love them. They deserve. Suarez got a contract for the whole season to stay. He deserves it. So does Tyler Wells. These guys are bailing you guys out often. Like, these bad starts and everything you're getting in this inconsistency a lot of times is being bailed out by long relief from Tyler Wells and Albert Suarez. So shout out to those guys as well. Injuries. Dean Kramer just made his first start today back, so good for him. Chris Bassett is still out. I think it'll be a while. We know Eflin and Kjerstad not coming back anytime soon. Batista, still no really word on him. Hidalgo, I keep seeing his name doing stuff, but he's still on the 60-day. Shelby and Mountie probably not back for a while. We know Westberg is next year as well. Cade Povich, I think he's in the minors. I think that's right. Cameron Weston back. They've been yo-yoing him on and off the roster as well. I think he's back. I think he's back there as well. Blaze Alexander. I think he's listen to the shortstop. He plays several positions. He's good on defense. Tyler O'Neill had a home run today. You got no business on the roster. He's got no business on the roster. Chadrick Tomp is there, the third catcher. I'm fine with carrying 3 catchers, guys. Like, if you're going to play both catchers, you might need one that doesn't play as much. So I'm actually fine with it. Sam Huff, I think it was sent down as well. Dylan Beavers is actually back. The name that is not here is J.J. Jeremiah Jackson, was sent down to AAA. Hot garbage. Unbelievable that they went ahead. I understand you want to play Holiday, but that was complete garbage, in my opinion. There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and get it going here. So we're losing hope here. So Michael Ash says they're going to be buyers at the deadline. You're not playing well. I don't know about that. So we'll see. I mean, the good news is, if there is good news, the division isn't any good. The AFC, the American League isn't any good. So you're not that far behind. So if you are making a run at some point, that's good. But as old John Madden says, some point you got to start winning games, and they're not exactly doing that. So yeah, so we'll get back to the Orioles here. Let's get to baseball summer. All right, and this is baseball summer, and we're going to talk about more drafts. So the draft is coming up here next week. So we're definitely going to talk about it. Definitely check us out live, 9:00 on July 11th. We're going to be live on Driving to the Top Productions and on the Ravori Sports channel simultaneously, which we don't always do. But we're going to chop it up. We're going to talk a little baseball that night. The Orioles are going to be making a draft pick fairly early. So number 7. So we're going to go ahead and go over that and go over a couple other things as well. We're going to go over the game, the Orioles post game, a lot of stuff going on that night. And so we're going to go ahead and check it out. So College World Series. I knew that was still there. All right. So let's go over the College World Series. Who are the best prospects in the College World Series? So the College World Series is a great barometer for players to see who is going to be in the College World, who's going to be in the early in the draft, etc. This year, believe it or not as much. Some teams, UCLA, Georgia Tech, got like knocked out early in the super regionals. So we didn't have as many of those guys in the College World Series, but there certainly was plenty of them. It's definitely worth talking about as well. So, but let's go over 5 guys for sure that are college players that weren't in the College World Series. Got to talk about Rutschman from UCLA. 21 home runs, 60 RBIs, average, complete package. Complete. There's nothing, this guy's not going to be a miss other than injuries as well. Big, strong, runs the bases real fast on the bases, really good defensively, tremendous throwing arm. It's just uber, just jumps off the screen. Watching him throw from short to first. So definitely, too, has everything you need at shortstop as well. Hit over 300 in College World Series. So I think it's pretty clear. Some people say Grady Emerson is better than him, a high school player. We'll do the high school players next week. But I don't see that where he's better than this guy. This guy is the complete package as well, Chalosky. So this guy, I think the guy who I think is closer to number 1 is Van Lackey from the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. 20 home runs, 78 RBIs, 397 average. This tremendous plate presence. Everybody, all you sabermetric guys want to diss me for saying plate presence. He's absolutely has it. He looks like Frank Thomas standing up there. Big, huge guy. I don't know if he's going to be a catcher long term. That's the position he plays because he's so big, but I definitely think he's the tremendous power hitter. I mean, just moon rockets going up, Bo Jackson type stuff, like type power. So definitely too. Jackson Floor, UC Santa Barbara, not even a question if he's the best pitcher in this draft as well. 12-0, 133 strikeouts, microscopic 1.06 ERA in college. It's already outstanding stuff as well. So definitely too. If you want to take a pitcher number 1, this probably is going to be your guy, Jackson Flora, as well. Orioles territory. Orioles got to be looking at Drew Burress picking at 7 if he's still on the board. Burress, I think, and Van Lackey were tremendous for Georgia Tech this season. 16 home runs, 60 RBIs. This guy's a complete outfielder. I don't know if we need another outfielder, but they seem to not really care about the position. So I definitely put this on your Orioles radar for that. Also, too, there's a lot of good catchers in college baseball. And this is definitely, I think, the top of the list, near the top of the list. Ryan Halford as well. Not as impressive as Lackey, but I think had it not been for him, you definitely have him. Definitely kind of sane. Big, strong, powerful catcher, hit power. Kind of reminded me of the great old Mickey Tettleton for you old school Oriole fans when I saw him. Just big, long swing and hit for power as well. So let's go over the College World Series here as well. Here are the top 10 as far as not how they performed in the College World Series, but as far as draft boards as well. Jason Willis, most outstanding player for the College World Series. All he did was single, double, hit machine in the College World Series, 7 home runs, 51 RBIs. A great defensive player. I think he definitely, too, they don't have that as much, but definitely, too, he can definitely get there on his defense, and he can hit as well. Camden Johnson, 9 home runs, 47 RBI, 29 stolen bases. So definitely great speed, definitely wreaked havoc. Probably 4th round, 5th-ish. That's probably where you're going to get these guys. Willis could go a little bit higher. Jason Canero, not real good in the College World Series, good during the season. 11 and 2, 288, 93 strikeouts as well. Trey Phelps for the Bulldogs, 19 home runs, 59 RBIs, hit 355. Bulldogs are really good. They had 2 guys. This was one of the 2 guys that was really, really good for them. Ryan Lynch was fantastic for the Tar Heels this year. The best location, I thought, of all the pitchers I thought in the College World Series. Definitely 2 best guy to hit your spot as well. So I definitely think there's a spot for that in the MLB. Definitely, I think he's about 3rd round. A little higher. Jake Schaffner, I think, was probably their best offensive player for the Tar Heels. 6 home runs, 47 RBIs, 25 stolen bases. Definitely he was their luggage carrier as well for the runner-up. So I definitely think a guy that you can keep your eye on. Carson Tenney, what we talk about, a lot of these good catchers. Another big, strong catcher, 22 home runs, 58 RBIs, 326 for the Longhorns. Daniel Jackson is another impressive guy. I'm really impressed with what he's going to do. These 2 are not going to miss. These guys definitely, too, have a spot in the major leagues as well. They're probably late 1st round. Those guys, Scheffner, probably too high, like late 1st as well. Robbins, I think, could be a little bit higher. I think he could fool somebody. Well, not fool somebody, but I think he might be a little higher than what people think as well. And Justin LeBron, I really like it. I know some people like Tyler Bell as well from Kentucky, but I think LeBron, is really, really good as well. Definitely, too, again, big, strong guy. You see these guys. Willis is more, the Ozzie Smith. This is Barry Larkin. Big, strong guy who hits for power, hit 18 home runs for the Crimson Tide. I absolutely think he is going to be a guy that could be a good major leaguer. There you go. All right. So we got that squared away. And so those are the guys that are going to be in the College World. They're from the College World Series, from college baseball, that are going to be in the draft. Next week, we're going to go over the high school players that are going to be in the draft. All right. Let's go over Orioles reports. We always finish with the Orioles as well. Report. So let's go over that. This is what Michael Elias. This is directly with Michael Elias. He had a press conference here in a dugout not that long ago. Chris Bassett underwent minor procedure, facet bone spur removal. Orioles will see where he's at in a couple weeks. Yeah, we're not going to see Bassett for a while as well. Didn't really elaborate too much on Felix Bautista. Very vague. Typical Michael Elias. throwing really well. Excited where he's at. Didn't really say much as well. So he didn't. He's throwing. So that's something. I mean, but we really haven't seen. Wait till we see a rehab assignment there as well. A couple of days ago, Dream Kramer came back with the quad. Dylan Beavers came back also too with the oblique. Really, really close to rejoining. This was again for the Michael Elias press conference and to rejoining. Yami Odago started a rehab on last Sunday, that is. Reinstated Adley Rutschman from the 7-day DL, so he's back also too. After that, reinstated Dylan Beavers from the 10-day IL. Claimed Zofer Zalita off waivers from the Cub, designated Sam Huff for assignment. Again, no problem with them carrying 3 catchers. Rutschman, a little brief concussion. I think they were just being extra cautious. Beavers has missed a lot of time, so it's good to get him back there as well. Just this garbage. Optioning Jeremiah Jackson to AAA. Why? That's not right. That's not right. And I know I was just telling somebody today. Tell my daughter, how my dad he wasn't big on fair, he wasn't big on right, but merit should matter. That's just. I don't know what you tell. I mean, I feel bad for him because he didn't deserve to be sent down. Tyler O'Neill hasn't helped you at all. Why are you sending this guy down? Especially also too when he can play the outfield. So I don't know. Well, I do know the reason, the contract. That's what it is. That's what it is. I believe they really think that O'Neill's going to give them something. Okay. I mean, they might. I mean, I hope they're right. Keegan Aiken got placed on a 15-day DL, retroactive to June 28th. Also to Josh Walker up from Norfolk. Walker's kind of who they've been sending up and down a lot as well. Aiken, I think, is on the shelf again. Aiken just didn't look right out on the field. Hidalgo, again, now he went to Frederick, single A as well. Sam Huff outrighted to Norfolk. So we talked about him. He went down, and now he's going to be outright. So back with the Tides. Dean Kramer reinstated from the 60-day DL, designated Don Keegan for assignment option, Josh Walker and Trey Gibson to Norfolk, and also recalled right-handed pitcher Cameron Weston from Norfolk. First Weston, they've been doing this all year long, shuffling him back and forth through Norfolk. I think he's okay in the pen. I mean, I think eventually he'll be okay in the pen. Good to get Kramer back. Kramer looked really good today in the start. So that's very, very encouraging. 7 good innings, especially it was tough, I'm sure. It was like a zillion degrees outside. So I think it was definitely good for him. Walker, again, they're kind of shuffling up and down. And Trey Gibson, I'm not sure he's a major league catcher. Somebody out there in the comments say if you really like Trey Gibson, I don't see where this guy is. He's a reliever. There's nothing wrong with that. I think a solid starter. I don't think. I just don't see it. I could be, I hope I'm wrong because it's Oriole. But I just don't see where he's a solid starter. I don't think I updated this. Tavares, Bradish, Blaze Alexander. Worth talking about. Bradish, I think he even struggled this week. I don't think I updated this. I definitely think. Let's go to the not list. I think it's more. Yeah, Holiday. We talked about Jackson Holiday. I think Holiday. Again, I think we're still a little early, but I mean, again, I'm not. I just don't see right where he's moving forward a bit. He's kind of like flatline. Kind of nobody's going. He's kind of nobody's talking about it. He's giving you some home runs. I definitely think he's got some power as well. Baz, I think was fine. I think was fantastic his last start. Halsey, I think the jury is still out on next week. Cincinnati Reds. They're going to play those guys tomorrow. Hopefully, I think we're going to have Dela Cruz out there for them. Dela Cruz is absolutely exciting for them. And the Cubs are coming into Baltimore as well. There are going to be a lot of Cubs fans in Camden Yards. So definitely that's going to be true. And Trevor Rogers might surprise you. I love this last start. I thought it was terrific. So they definitely need him to come back. I thought he was fantastic in his last start, even though the result wasn't great. But I definitely think Trevor Rogers, I'm giving him player of the week over his last start. Keep the faith, O's fans. We did win today, so keep the faith. Definitely do that. Interesting to see where we're kind of charging near the All-Star break. So definitely, thank you very much for joining us here on the Ravori Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe. We will see you next Wednesday for the Ravori Sports Podcast. Enjoy the rest of your day.